Jamila, let's talk a little bit about the fact that Mr. Ailey was a gay man, but of course a gay man coming up in a time where homosexuality was greatly frowned upon. It was illegal, and actually it was illegal everywhere in all the states, and also then of course being a black man. Were you at all hesitant about including that personal part of his life? Because I feel like I've never really seen that explored. I mean, it was widely known that he passed away from AIDS, but I think this is the first time I've ever really seen any kind of real deep introspection into his personal life and his life as a gay black man.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't hesitant at all to include it because he wasn't hesitant to reveal it as he did in his own tapes. And so it felt very important to allow for him to talk about his, sexual awakening and sexual experiences to the degree that he did. What we noticed in that was a kind of in his voice, in the tone of his voice, a kind of beauty and freeness that was there, which really affirms the fact that he was not publicly out, meaning to the wider public, but he was, of course, out to everyone that knew him. And so I think he is living at a time where there is that bind of, in the dance world, it was not a secret, but
Hmm.
could he go and fundraise money from foundations and philanthropists and be claiming all of his identity, at that time? Absolutely not, because as you point out, I mean, it was illegal. So I think for us, we just felt like this was an opportunity now to honor him in all that in all of who he was. And it was, very beautiful. And I think, again, it makes him very human. And by that, I mean relatable.
Yeah.
This moment in which he's dedicated so much of his life to the company, and he has this friend who dies, and he's kind of becoming aware of things he hadn't yet built for himself. And then he sets his sight on like the wrong person. It's
Hmm.
so, oh man, there he is in search of connection and an intimacy, and it's with somebody who it's unrequited, and there's a kind
Yeah.
of abandonment that happens there. And so
Yeah.
I think just
I mean, that
his
was the
candor
craziest
in speaking
story.
about it.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
craziest story. It's that they're having a party. So he has a lover who he brings from Paris. They're having a party, and the guy just goes down a fire escape and never comes back. That
Yeah.
was just pure bonkers. I'm just like, what? Um,
Right.
it's just like, wow. Talk about abandonment issues.